Join us at the 35th Annual Ed Block Courage Awards dinner at Martin's West on Monday, March 18th. See your favorite NFL players like Baltimore Raven Torrey Smith and Jason Witten of the Dallas Cowboys. A few seats remain. Get your tickets at missiontix.com. Stan the Fan Charles back with you, and as promised with me to discuss how the 2013 Birds are shaping up is the very fine blogger and longtime voice of Baltimore Orioles baseball in the talk show wars, Steve Melewski. And Steve, we welcome you to the show, and you and I were never direct competition, always respected your opinions, and I hope you respected mine.
Absolutely.
Very interesting what's happened to Baltimore Orioles now in 12 and now 13. Awful lot of decisions that, while they might seem like the small ones, there's a lot of options to make those last few moves.
Well, it's been an interesting offseason. A lot of people were grumping a little bit that the Orioles didn't make more acquisitions, but I think they tried. I think they were close to getting R.A. Dickey at one point. They thought about it. They had a couple other things they looked at. And, you know, in the final analysis, they're kind of gambling on some of the guys staying healthy, returning to health, like Nolan Reimold, a full season of Markakis they hope to get, and the young pitching continuing to progress and maybe back-to-back playoff appearances.
We'll get into pitching in a minute, but one player you didn't mention that they need to come back, or they're hoping, they're keeping their fingers crossed, Brian Roberts, last year of a 4-year, $10 million a year contract. Nobody rooting for Brian Roberts more than guys like us. What are you hearing about him so far?
It's all positive right now, but, you know, the thing is, Stan, and Brian would probably say this too, mid-March, okay, fine. Late March, better, but what's going to happen when the bell rings? Will he hold up? No one has the answer to that. Not Brian, not Buck, not Dan Duquette. But, you know, that would be a big plus. I mean, when the guy was healthy, he was one of the best leadoff hitters in the American League. They'd love to get him back healthy again. They have backup plans. They have Casilla. They have Flaherty. So the Orioles have set it up that if he can't go, they got other guys they like.
How about the outfield? Now, of course, Adam Jones will be back shortly from the World Baseball Classic. But right field, Markakis with this herniated disc in his neck, a little problematic right now for 7 to 14 days. And, of course, Reimold still nursing his way through. Right. What are some options in the outfield?
Well, they have a whole host of guys they could turn to if they have to, from Steve Pearce to Lou Ford to Connor Jackson. You know, they brought a lot of guys in, so they have options. But right now, you know, as we saw in recent days, concerned that two of their top 4 outfielders, Reimold and Markakis, are not regularly playing right now. If they can get those two back healthy, they'll feel good about that first 4 in the outfield, counting Jones and McLeod.
Could you see a scenario, Steve? I know this is not what they wanted to have happen, but if Markakis is iffy for a little while, could you see Chris Davis, believe it or not, scooting back out to right field and playing one of those guys like Jackson or Ishikawa at first base first week or so of the season?
Well, I mean, I don't think they would rule it out. Chris Davis has one of the best arms on the team. He's not a natural out there, and he's not working out there right now, so I doubt we'll see that because they have so many other outfield options. And Davis right now, they really want to work on the first base defense, which, as you know, wasn't great last year, and that's really where they're putting all their work at the moment.
Let's move over to the pitching staff. You and I were talking as we tape on Wednesday nights. Brian Matusz, in the midst of a sterling outing, 4 innings, 1 hit against the Twins, he's putting himself back in the starting picture.
He wants to be a starter. He willingly says that. Of course, last year, watching Matusz get out guys like Cano and Hamilton with the game on the line, he was a real weapon out of the bullpen last year late, and everybody needs a big lefty, especially in this division. But that was a great start for him a couple days ago, so he's still solidly in this 5th starter race, I think.
If you had to guess right now, I'm looking at Hamill, Chen, Gonzalez, Tillman make up the first 4, barring health considerations. Who's in that run for the 5th slot along with Matusz?
I'm going to give a slight lean to Zach Britton. I think right now, though, Matusz obviously has put his name in there. Arrieta recently, a good outing. Jurgen's feeling better about his knee. I mean, they've got a lot of good options there, and options is the key word because most of those guys have options. So who doesn't make the 5th starter is a phone call away in Norfolk come opening day.
Just a little over a minute to go. Tell me about this year, the 3 biggest names in the minor leagues right now. Jonathan Scope, middle infielder.
Right.
Dylan Bundy, Kevin Gausman. Will Marylanders be able to see those guys at Bowie, or are they all going to be ticketed for AAA?
They all could start at Bowie. Jonathan Scope played very well at Bowie last year. He could be at AA. Maybe they want Flaherty to play second base every day at AAA, and they bump Scope back down. Dan Duquette has said, Stan, you've heard him say it, if you can produce at AA, you can be in the big leagues. So they're almost interchangeable in the eyes of the Orioles. I think Gausman and Bundy have a great chance to start at Bowie. Mike Wright could be in that rotation. That could be a star-studded minor league rotation come opening day.
All right, he's Steve Melewski, MASNsports.com. He's one of the best in the business and really knows his stuff with those minor leaguers because he knows the entire organization. Thank you for coming.
You got it,
Steve.
Stan.
When we return, Paul Mittermeier tells us why he stresses each year at this time, putting together the finishing touches on yet another Ed Block Courage Awards banquet. We'll be right back. Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.